Gotta go fast. It's me, Mario.
Yeah, Link.
This is another, what was that intro? This is another top 10 upside down eShop games worth buying on the Nintendo Switch. If you don't see the game that you love on this list, I did one of these videos already, so don't yell, scream, and swear at me until you watch that one, and if I still didn't talk about it on that one, then come right back here, yell, scream, and swear at me until I put it in a third video. But without further ado, let's get started. Now, if I remember correctly, the highest like comment on the last video was Overcooked was overlooked. So with that amazing review in the comment section, I want to dive into Overlooked to start this video. This game is one of the best co-op games that you can play with friends. And I'm not talking a friend, I'm talking 3 to 4 friends. If you want to build camaraderie, learn more about your friends that you ever wanted to learn, get inside their heads, complete challenges together, and just have an amazingly fun night playing a game on your Switch or whatever you play this game on. This is a fantastic game for just that. The real challenge here isn't so much the game, it's getting all of your damn friends to cooperate with you and do what they need to do, and everyone come together to beat each level. You'll each have your own individual task that'll be your responsibility to complete in the kitchen to build this amazing gourmet meal, but while you're doing it, you will have the level for tipping up and down on you, you'll have stuff flying everywhere, you'll have things blocking your path or moving things that will block your way so you can't get to certain parts that you need to get to, so you have to think on your feet, you need to improvise. This game, honestly, as far as a concept, whoever it was that sat down and were like, look guys, we're going to make a cooking game, a co-op party cooking game where everyone has individual responsibilities and the map is going to move and change. Let's make it. As far as that concept being thought of, they nailed it. You could never take that concept and make it any better. They absolutely crushed it in this game, and it has led to one of, as I said, the most enjoyably fun party games you will ever play. Next, we have a game called Phantom Trigger. This $15 dungeon crawler hack and slash type game boasts a 5 to 6 hour story. It's kind of like 2 stories blended together in one world. In one story, you have Stan, who is this guy who has this seizure. And then you have this other side of it, this other side world story, whatever, of this outsider character. And the 2 stories sort of mesh and blend together. I'm not going to ruin anything about it, but I actually really enjoyed that concept and thought it was really cool and unique. There are different endings to the choices you make, which is something I didn't expect out of this game. And it does add to the game's replayability. There are a bunch of different weapons with attack upgrades and combos. You can mix moves together. The gameplay is actually fairly complex, but it's really enjoyable to play. There's also local co-op as well, which is great. More co-op games, the better. I would say this game's probably, to me, worth $10 more than $15. I mean, honestly, any eShop game is for me would be better around $5 to $10 because I hate spending more than that on eShop in general. So maybe I'm just being biased towards digital downloads, but I do feel like this game is worth more like $10. However, it's enjoyable, or else it wouldn't be on this list, and I do recommend trying it out. As we all know, doing things are hard. I'm not tackling this list alone. I've done so many of these lists now. I need help because there's only so many games that I have actually played. There are only so many games that I can go out, buy, and own. I wish I was PewDiePie level of rich so I could buy every single game and talk about every single game, but I can't. So that being said, I'm employing the help of one of my really close friends to tackle a few other games on this list. Let's cut to Sean from RGT85 now.
One of the best Switch games and eShop games, in my opinion, is a game called Fast RMX. Now, if you're a fan of games like Wipeout, you're a fan of games like F-Zero, which Nintendo has seemingly forgotten about in recent memory, Fast RMX is a game that needs to be in your Nintendo Switch collection. Now, this was originally released on the Wii U as Fast Racing Neo, and it was a fantastic game, but Fast RMX, obviously RMX stands for Remix, definitely ups the ante with this game. They polished the graphics to 1080p 60 frames per second, and it looks absolutely amazing on the Switch. Whether you're playing it in docked mode, in portable mode, it goes down to 720p 60 frames per second, but regardless, it looks so good. Everything goes by so fast. The courses are highly detailed, the vehicles are highly detailed, and the Switch version adds in more courses and more vehicles as well. So even if you've played the Wii U version to death, there's definitely something to enjoy with the Nintendo Switch version. Fast RMX is a no-brainer if you're a fan of arcade racing games and, you know, games like Wipeout and F-Zero, because it's damn good.
Next, we have a game called Severed, and I haven't actually ever reviewed a game quite like this one before, so I'm excited to talk about it. It's a first-person game that's really stylish, and the thing that sets it apart from other games I reviewed is it's kind of like Fruit Ninja. It's a touchscreen 6-hour adventure type game where you find yourself slicing and slashing your enemies Fruit Ninja style. The enemies are actually really cool as well, which I like. But unlike Fruit Ninja, where you just slash your hand across the screen like crazy and see how dirty you can make your phone look, this game actually takes a lot of strategizing. You actually have to block and plan your attacks more than just go crazy grabbing at bananas. Think the kind of Skyward Sword mechanic of your enemies sort of had to block certain ways and you had to swing your sword certain ways. That's kind of how the gameplay in this works, but with your finger. It's a simple but challenging game that will keep you entertained until the end. I actually like this game. There's not much to it, but it's enjoyable. Next, we have a game called Infinite Golf. Yes, I'm putting a golf game on this list. Wow, I'm really hitting some new ground today. I've never reviewed a golf game either. This game's actually really fun though. Okay, give me a second to collect myself. The fact that I just reviewed a Fruit Ninja game and now a golf game. I've been on YouTube too long. But no, seriously, this game is really fun. It's in the title too, Infinite Golf. There is an infinite amount of golf courses. It even has a course maker where you can make and download your own courses. So there's unlimited creations in this thing, which is one part that makes this game definitely worth it because of replayability. Here comes the money. Here we go. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. So imagine Mario Maker meets golf. It's essentially what this game is. So there's a lot to this game other than just a golf game. It's enjoyable to play. You have a bunch of different options, a bunch of different levels, infinite, fun. Check it out. It's golf, but it's fun. Next up, we have a game called Slime Sand. This game has a cool simplistic art style. It has 100 levels and then more levels after that once you complete them. There's multiple rooms on each level. It's very Meat Boy and there's so much of it to play. It just seems to keep going and going and going, but it's definitely a good time. It starts with simple platforming and gets harder and harder with more complex levels and enemies. It has online leaderboards which adds to its challenge. There's so much replayability if you can even get through the main game because there are so many levels, as I said. But if you enjoy it that much and you want to play it again, there's definitely reason to do so. This is a game that I can definitely, without a doubt, say it's worth its price tag. Other cool things about this game is it has really awesome boss fights. It controls perfectly, which is great for a game like this. Obviously, you don't want to have sloppy controls. And the music, it's very retro inspired. I love the music.
My favorite professional sport is NBA. I love basketball. I love the Charlotte Hornets. So NBA Playgrounds was definitely a game on my radar, and I love it to death. It's a very fun game. If you're a fan of games like NBA Jam, NBA Hang Time from back in the day, you will love this game. It's an arcade 2-on-2 basketball game with big flashy dunks, big three-pointers, special abilities and whatnot, and there's a lot to do and a lot to see in this game. One of the things I really like about it is how characters are unlocked. Characters aren't all unlocked by default. You have to win games and gain experience and unlock these card packs. And when you unlock card packs, there's 5 different characters in the card pack, and you will unlock those characters in the game. So that keeps the replay value pretty high in my opinion, because I was always wanting to go and get more of these players, you know, whether it's current NBA players or legends or whatnot. There was a lot to do in that game, and it kept me going back for more because I wanted all of the characters. And they're constantly adding new characters to the game via updates. The online for the Switch version was heavily delayed, but if you're watching this video now, it's already out, of course, and you can play online with friends or random people. It's a really fun game. It's definitely not a game that you're going to remember in 10 years, but if you're a fan of arcade-style basketball games, this is definitely a no-brainer in my opinion. A really solid, really fun game, and one I think you guys will enjoy.
Next is a game that I know a lot of you have probably already played and probably already think is amazing, but I'm really late to the game on this one, and that's Retro City Rampage. I was given a code for this game fairly recently out of nowhere. I had almost no interest in this game. I don't know why. There's so many indie type, pixel, old school, 8-bit, 16-bit era video games that come and go. Sometimes it's hard to not get lost in the wave, in the sea of them, and look at them like it's just another one, and that's definitely what I did with this game. It piqued my interest when I first heard about it, but never enough to actually go out and play it. I'm almost glad in a way because now all of a sudden I have it on my Switch. I can't even explain how fun it is. Imagine old school GTA games meshed with pop culture humor, and pop culture humor from like the 80s and 90s meshed with awesome 8-bit style graphics, really cool sound design. It's just non-stop, keeps going, keeps throwing things in your face. It doesn't even give you a moment to think about it. This game is one of the best games I've played this year. Not for a second does it feel like you're playing a top-down 8-bit adventure. It feels like you're playing this fully fleshed out world. I don't even know how they made this possible. I can't stress enough how fun this game is, and I know I'm late to the game. I'm sorry if it seems strange that I'm only boasting about how fun this game is right now. It's right at home on the Switch for so many reasons. You guys know those reasons. Play it on your TV, play it when you're taking a poop, play it whatever you want. It is an amazing game. I love it so much.
If you've never played Shovel Knight before, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's been released on like every platform in the world, and it's one of the highest rated games in recent memory. Everyone seems to love it. But just in case you haven't, Shovel Knight is also available on the Switch. And there's a couple different packages you could choose from, whether it's the main package, which has Shovel Knight, the original game, plus the 2 DLC characters, a 4th DLC character who is coming, or you just want the DLC characters. There's a lot of options for you with the Nintendo Switch version of this game. In my opinion, go for the gusto, go for the big package, because even if you've played Shovel Knight to death, it's still fun to go back and play it again. It's definitely started this 8-bit revolution of 8-bit style games in the modern era, and Shovel Knight is pretty much the king of it. It's a side-scrolling platformer, a lot of fun, a lot of polish, amazing music, great boss battles, lots of variety. There's just so much positive things about Shovel Knight. It's honestly one of my favorite games, you know, in the past decade or so. There's so much to do, so much to see, and they're still adding in free content to the game. They're still adding in, you know, additional DLC for free and really extending the life of the game and the Shovel Knight universe. They're even adding in more game modes and whatnot. If you've never played Shovel Knight, or even if you have and you just want, you know, the best version of it on the go, it looks great on the portable screen and is a highly recommended game. So Shovel Knight, a no-brainer if you're an 8-bit fan.
Now, this last game's on the list for a couple of reasons. One, even with the collective efforts and help from Sean from RGT85, we're both running out of games that we've played on the Nintendo eShop. In fact, we're running low on games on the Nintendo eShop. And also because I really want to add as much variation to these lists as possible. I have 10 games to talk about, so there's no point talking about 10 beat-em-ups or 10 hack and slashes. I want to make them as different as possible so everyone can find something they enjoy. So this might not be for everyone. If you're one of those people that have those big group game nights where you all sit down with board games and what's that game called with all the cards? Oh god, I can't believe I'm having to Google this. Cards Against Humanity. If you're one of those people that have the game nights with all the board games and Cards Against Humanity and stuff like that, and you're looking for something to take on your Switch, an electronic version of those games to play, Use Your Words is actually really fun in a party setting. It's a perfect addition to a great game night if you are one of those people, as I said, that partake in game nights. I personally don't, because I prefer sitting at home and playing single-player adventure games and being a loner. But if you have friends, not like me, and you like going to their houses and playing games, this one's perfect for you. It's sort of a mesh of a bunch of games that you've seen like this before, but it's done really well. It's just stupid fun to play with some friends. I mean, you can tell by looking at it essentially what it is, so I'm not going to try and critique it. I don't even really know how to critique something like this. As I said, I'm not the best at reviewing, so trying to review a game like this is beyond me. But I will say that it is fun, and it's actually created by, in some sense, I'm not even sure, but Brentalfloss. If you guys know who Brentalfloss is, he actually played a big part in creating this game. I'm pretty sure it is his game, which I thought was really cool, which is why I wanted to check it out and support a fellow tuber. So yeah, it definitely needs to be up your alley. It needs to be one of those things that you enjoy. You definitely need to have friends to play it with. You can't sit at home and play it on your own. But it is a great party game, and I wanted to add some variety to this list, so use your words. Also, whenever I think of Use Your Words, I always think of Lonely Island, that song with Rihanna. Well guys, that's another 10 games for the eShop worth buying. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found a game or two that you hadn't heard about before that you can head out, enjoy, and play. Let me know in the comment section below if there are any that I missed, or if you are going to play any from the list today. I would love to hear it. A huge thank you to Sean for helping me on this video. I can't thank him enough. If you enjoy my content, I have always considered for the longest time Sean's channel to be a sister channel or a brother channel. Our content is so similar. We always swap ideas. I really do enjoy having Sean's channel sat there just closely behind mine. Go sub to him, but don't sub to him enough that he gets more than me. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you in the next video. I always like ending my videos on some kind of hilarity, some kind of funny goof and gaff. I really got nothing today. I'm gonna sell my Switch and buy an Ouya.